My friends, welcome back to what episode are we on? We're on episode 36. I already checked. I was just testing you guys to see if you would know. Well, I guess you'd know because you're on YouTube, unfortunately. Well, not unfortunately, it's a good thing you're on YouTube watching this video right now with the big old number plastered atop the page, because that's how YouTube works. So welcome to episode 36. We're cruising on, this is the end of May now, and we'll be coming up pretty close to our 2-year anniversary of the podcast in September. Should be September, right? I think end of September would be, if I recall. Yeah, it should be. I'm doubting myself, but I'm fairly certain that it should be September. So yeah, we're coming up hot in a few months on the 2-year anniversary. So will we do anything to celebrate that? I don't know. I haven't thought about that yet, but it's a good milestone anyway. Keep on trucking. So today, I didn't necessarily have a topic coming into mind, so I enlisted some help and got a couple things we can talk about, and yeah, so we'll dive right in. We'll see where the conversation takes us. Sometimes we, talk about something and something else comes up through inspiration or just through, you're yapping and then you think it's something else. I don't know, whatever it may be. So we'll just jump right in. So the topic that was presented to me as maybe something to talk about was making friends in the furry fandom. I think a lot of people deal with loneliness, or maybe they want to expand their reach in the fandom, or make more friends, or however you want to say it, but know more people in the fandom and get to socialize, whether that be like, I don't know, joining calls or playing games with people or whatever. I think it's a pretty common want. Unless I guess you don't like people very much. But it is interesting in the furry fandom, right? I mean, I guess I have been online for many, many years. I would say I've been an active internet guy for about 23-ish years, and I have made friends and met a lot of different people from many different hobbies or games or whatever you want to call it. So here's, I guess, the first fun fact of the day. The first real online quote unquote community I became a part of was what year would that have been? Probably around 2002-ish, maybe. I'm not really sure how long that run lasted, but around that time, I'm not even really sure how it came to be, but I was a young man on the internet, and I was perusing. So for you younger people, you might not know this, so maybe you've heard of the website Yahoo. They used to have a games thing, so it was like a huge community of different games that you could play. Just like it was like not through your browser. I don't know. It was like very low tech. It was kind of shitty, if we're being honest. But there was a variety of different games you could play, and I don't really remember what year that died. I think maybe the early 2010s is when it officially went away. But they had a lot of stuff. They had a lot of different card games and like games like chess. They had like a pool game, like billiards. That was actually really fun. I played that a lot with even people who didn't they weren't that familiar with Yahoo games, but I was like, yo, play this, it's fun. And it was fun. So anyway, I give you that backstory because I'm sure many people are like, what? Yahoo has a games thing, what the hell is that? But basically it was just, you join, it's kind of, I guess, the equivalent of like joining like a server in like an MMO or something. You would join like I don't know what they called them, like a room, I guess maybe would be the thing, and then you'd be in a lobby. It would kind of be like the lobby of a Discord server, and you could say like, hey, and you could like start a game with someone, or you could just chat, whatever. It was like a community. You hung out. And so I got really big into this card game called Canasta, and maybe you've never heard of that because I think it's a game that old people play. Well, I can say most of the people that I played with were old, like moms, grandmas, etc. It's kind of an old person game, but it's a game based around, I would say, not necessarily math, but like remembering. The key is to remember what cards have been played already. Like, I would say it's kind of like the equivalent of like counting cards in blackjack, like that kind of mental skill needed, if you guys know what that entails. But basically, the short summary is it's a game involving remembering what cards have been played and using your remembering skills to your advantage, because there is some luck involved because it's a card game, like any card game. If you draw bad cards, then you could lose. But it's a skill-based game with some luck, which is like probably almost every card game. And obviously, like, I played poker for a living. I play a lot of card games, so I'm familiar with that kind of thing. So naturally, I gravitated to this game, Canasta, and I was in the one of the Yahoo leagues. Well, actually, I was in a lot of the Yahoo leagues, and so that was like my first taste of like internet socializing, like not necessarily making a community, although I did make my own leagues before in the game. Like everything I've ever dabbled in, I end up wanting to make my own. You know what I mean? Like I joined that initially just to be in another league, and then eventually it's like I want to be the owner of my own league. But anyway, so all of this was just the prerequisite to saying, like, that was my first taste of like, here's socializing with people. So I would join, there would be tournaments and stuff, and we would socialize, we would chat during the games, just text chat. There was no like voice calls or anything. So we would socialize, we would play this game and hang out, and it was a community. You got to know people and what their lives were about, like their interests outside of the game, and like maybe some people had families. And what's funny is there is one guy on there, he was like, most of the people were old for the most part. It's an old person's game. I don't think young people really know what Canasta is. It's a fun game though. But there was one guy who was from Australia actually, and he was like a youngish guy like me. I think he's younger than me, actually, surprisingly, but I believe his mother was sort of like a legendary Canasta player. I believe it was his mother. I'm trying to remember what her name is, or what I say was. I mean, I think she's still alive, but anyway, yeah. So actually, this guy and me are still like, we're still friends on Facebook, and it's been like 25 years almost. So that's pretty impressive. Like, we don't talk or anything, very rarely, but cool guy. And what were we talking about? Yeah, so that was like my first taste of like meeting people. So I mean, really, it's kind of the cliche, and I think people tell you this the same thing like in person, like, oh, if you want to meet people, just go and have a hobby. But I understand in person that's way harder. Like, let's say you're interested in cards in person, that's scary, but you have to like go to a shop or something, or like a club. That's pretty darn scary. I get why you would be hesitant to do that, because that's actually scary. But the good thing about online is you can just join this lobby. And in this day and age, right, we have Discord servers, which is honestly even easier than these were. Although the Yahoo lobbies were very easy. So basically what I'm saying is, yeah, have an interest. And the thing about furry, right, is that you don't have one interest. So like that Canasta example, right? We had one interest. I didn't do anything but play Canasta with those people. Were they my friends? Yes. Did I have groups? Yes. Did we do anything ever? Did I ever do anything in my lives with them other than Canasta? Never. And that's, that's not a bad thing. It's like, we like that thing. And then, my second experience with like communities was playing Counter-Strike. And in Counter-Strike, we didn't really have like the nice thing about the Yahoo was like you had like a home base, like a lobby. Same thing now, you have Discord. Back then, we didn't really have something like that. We pretty much used forums, which is not like a live chat. Sometimes we used IRC, if anyone's familiar with IRC. in this day and age. I mean, I guess probably some of you little techies are, but yeah. So I guess that was my second awakening to having a hobby, meeting people through having a hobby like that. And again, I would say, well, the good thing about Counter-Strike is, I guess, that it is just a game. So, like, I did some of those friends, we have played other games before. Some no, but some of those friends, I mean, we had our friend group that transcended Counter-Strike, and so like when Left 4 Dead came out, Team Fortress 2, games like that, we would play those as well. So that was like kind of closer to something like the furry fandom, where it's just like a friend group where you can play a variety of different games together. I think really, and I could go on about the past, I suppose, if you want. After that came YouTube. That was like my third friend group thing, and our bonding, we mostly just, well, actually, no, I was going to say we mostly talked one-on-one, but no, we had like little group chats and stuff on like AOL Instant Messenger, you guys know that? So we had our little group chats and stuff, like not that different from like a Discord server, I suppose. So that would be my next thing, and like, I guess the YouTube thing was the most interesting because like, that was like the sports card community. That I, was in originally when I first got on YouTube. And I guess the thing with that is also like we could have done whatever we wanted. Like we could have, like, most of them weren't that into video games. I'm trying to think if I really played games. I remember I did make one of the guys play Counter-Strike with me. I don't think he liked it. I mean, nice of him to play Counter-Strike with me, but I don't think he's much of a video game player. So, that's the challenge. I think, really, though, the best thing about furry is that we have an interest, like a shared interest, like furry, right? But it's the hobby, the, fandom, whatever you want to call it, is not based around one thing. So there's no, like, locked in, like, we don't feel obligated to do any particular thing. Like we can hang out, watch movies, or play games, or, whatever we want to do. Whatever floats your dang boat. You can ERP, whatever you want to do. You can do whatever you want. So we have some more level of flexibility than in those hobbies where you're kind of shoehorned into doing a particular thing, or maybe you feel like you're shoehorned into doing a particular thing. You can do whatever. So I think the furry fandom has really evolved to a cool point, because for me, right, I've been in the furry fandom for about 15 years now, made many, many friends. You guys know I'm a very sociable person, and I have met a lot of amazing people over the years. I feel very fortunate, right? And for the most part, most of the meeting of people that I did was just through Twitter. So I would hang out on Twitter. I would make tweets. Other people would make tweets. I would respond to them. We would bond like that. And maybe eventually we would talk off Twitter on another platform. But we had the bond. If and when the con ever came, we would meet. We would get even closer. But Twitter is a great place to dip your toes in. But you do have to be willing to be a little annoying. Respond to a tweet, And it's kind of the key of social skills. For me, it was always pretty easy for me to tell when someone had interest in me and when they didn't. And that means, like, I mean, if they're not responding to your tweets, you tweet at them, you respond to them, you can see that they're not making an effort. They're probably not interested. It's pretty easy to back off, right? Just leave them alone. They're not really interested in being friends with you. But when someone is interested in being your friend, well, then you can make the next move. You can do something such as messaging them and saying, you want to talk on somewhere else, or whatever. So put out your feelers like that. It's a good way to start. But nowadays, it's even better because there's a built-in system for meeting people and chatting with people, and that is called Twitch streams, because I think, many people who might be listening to this came from my community, where they have met probably some of the closest friends in their life. because all they did was sit there and chat while watching a stream. And that is the beauty of it. You come to streams, and I think, you might have to mess around. I personally think I have the best and most welcoming community, and if you're cool, then we will take you right in, and you'll be a part of the community, right? You might have to, I guess, possibly, explore, find a community that's right for you, because potentially you might end up in kind of a shitty one. You never know. And maybe you won't like it there. But that's the good thing, right? There's like a billion communities, and I think most are going to be open to a new person being a regular in their community. Again, it's just about being cool, being chill, and vibing, and you do have to come out of your comfort a little bit. You do probably have to talk in the stream. You got to type, and you probably even need to join the Discord, most likely. I mean, if you don't join the Discord, you're going to be limited with your bonding abilities. But the idea is, right, you become a little bit of a regular, you chat in the stream a little bit, and then you join the Discord eventually. Probably they have a Discord, most likely, and then maybe they do activities or whatever, et cetera, and then poof, you're part of the community. You have friends automatically built in. Maybe you branch out from there. Maybe you don't even really eventually end up going to the stream that much anymore, but you make the friends, you bond, and you meet people. And I think it's a really, really easy way to easier than Twitter even, because the Twitter one was kind of like you had to really take it slow, right? Like really, really slow. The good thing about those other hobbies I mentioned, like Counter-Strike and YouTube, all that stuff, it happened a little bit faster. With the whole Twitter thing, it really is like a grind. Like you'd be just dipping your toes in every once in a while, making a little funny tweet and saying hi and stuff. But the good thing about Twitch is, like, you can just be yapping. Streamers be streaming for like hours, and you just yap and talk to people, and you can bond very quickly. Like in a week, like I feel like if someone really cool joined our community, like in a couple weeks, they would be like a legend. You know what I mean? Like if they were really cool, like, I don't know, like if they joined and they were in every stream talking, within a couple weeks, they would be regulars easily. So it's easier to make something happen quickly. If you are trying to make friends in a hurry, you're not trying to wait. You just want to have some friends. You're lonely. Join a Twitch community. Start yapping. And find the one that you vibe with. I mean, you don't have to jump into the first one if you're not really feeling the vibe. Then it's okay. There's like a million out there. So just find the one that you vibe with. And again, you're gonna have to be a little brave. You're gonna have to step outside your comfort zone a little bit. You're gonna have to talk. You're gonna have to use your big boy voice and say hello. And I think, I mean, again, that's not. I understand that that's not necessarily easy, but it is doable. I feel like it's not outside of the realm of possibilities. I mean, again, anyone listening to this would be in my community, most like. I mean, I assume if you are listening to this for some reason and you feel like you're not really part of the community, well, maybe you should talk a little bit more, and I bet we'd love to have you. Or maybe you're finding this and you've never been in my community. Well, join up. We're pretty cool. So yeah, I think that's the best way to start. And again, in this day and age, it's easy. And I guess, like, I mean, you don't have to necessarily, what do you call it? Like, join. It doesn't have to be a Twitch community. I mean, if you just want to vibe with people in it, like, without it, that's probably doable as well. Probably someone who has a Discord server, or maybe they have like a Discord server they could invite you to. The thing is, like, in this day and age, that's the best part, is like there's like a trillion Discord servers and whatnot, and we all have a common interest in furry, so you have like the icebreaker, right? And from there you can see who you really vibe with in terms of like interest. So maybe you join and someone there really likes, for example, horror movies, and you really like horror movies, so now you have a common thing. You can watch horror movies with them, you can vibe with them, talk about them, etc., etc. So that's like an opening, right? that you have. You can find someone with something that, again, is important to you, and I think that's pretty cool because, again, back in the day, a lot of the time it would just be like, okay, well, we have this one thing, right? And I mean, furry has the one thing. It's furry, but also it has, you know, it has a lot of branching paths, like a trillion branching paths, which is freaking cool. And finding people who share something neat with your interests, right? Something that you think is cool, they think is cool. You can bond over that, and it's just a nice feeling. And you can have, different groups for different things. And I think that's the cool thing about furry that's very accessible in terms of finding someone who's interested in something. You like League of Legends? Okay, you got someone for that. You like Overwatch? You like, I don't know, Dead by Daylight? You like Counter-Strike? You like Valorant? You like movies? You like art? You like whatever you like. There's going to be a group that you can enjoy that interest with. And that's the best part because, yeah, you're not limited to one thing. And there's, again, like a billion people, Discord servers. It's just so much easier. It really does feel a lot easier. Like, I could go and join, I am. And again, maybe it's going to be a moment where people are like, oh, that's just because it's you, right? You're really good at this. But, like, I'm in, like, a trillion Discord servers, right? I think most of us are in, like, a trillion Discord servers. And I didn't do anything to get in most of those. Like, I watched a streamer, I thought they were cool, and I felt like it was the right thing to do to join their server, right? Because, I don't know, that's how you show someone support, right? You join their Discord server. So I'm, like, in, like, a trillion Discord servers, right? 99.9% of them I don't do anything in. I hardly do much in my own dang Discord server, okay? So, like, I didn't do anything, they're all there, right? But if I needed, like, let's just say for some reason, everyone that I'm close friends with now left, and so I needed to go restart and make friends. I'm in a trillion Discord servers, right? And again, you guys could all be in a trillion Discord servers too, so to get to this point that I'm talking about, any of you could easily be there because, again, I'm not doing anything skillful. I join a Twitch stream and I join their Discord server, and most of the time say nothing. But if I wanted to make friends, I would go in there and start talking. Maybe join a voice call. Well, I don't know. You could just join the voice call. People do that. But if you were scared to join the voice call, maybe spend a week just chatting in there, instead. And make some bonds and, find something that interests you. You find out that they play Overwatch on the weekend. Oh, I like Overwatch too. Would it be cool if I joined or something? And then they say, hopefully they're going to say, like, oh, of course, that would be awesome. I hope they don't say, no, you can't join, you piece of shit. If they do, then my whole plan is foiled, so never mind. But they won't say that. They'll say, of course you can. And then you'll join and hang out. And again, if you don't like the vibe of one of those servers, you start talking and you're like, this isn't for me. The good thing, again, is there's a billion more that anyone can be in. Takes no skill or social thing to join. You literally just go on the streamer's page, and they have a Discord thingy. 99% of these servers that I'm in, people are really excited when someone new joins. They're like, you join and they do the little, what's the little waving thing? Where they, wave and say hi, and then you're like, hey. So it's very doable to make friends that way. It is a little scary, but there's no, like, to be honest, and I don't mean to sound like, if you don't have friends, then it's just because you're lame. But, like, there's not, in this day and age, there's really not, like there's no reason that you need to be lonely or alone in the sense of, like, you don't have a community or something, somewhere you can call home, right? Because there are so many, and unless you're a total piece of shit, I know some of those, but no one listening to this for sure. Unless you're a total piece of shit, there's a community for you, and someone would like to have you in their community, and all you got to do is just join. Just go in there, and then you're there. And then piece of cake, Easy peasy. I'm going to have a quick sip of water. I'm getting a little thirsty. Delicious water. Been drinking a lot of water this weekend, which makes sense because it's getting hotter. And when it gets hot, then you get dehydrated and you get thirsty and you be drinking, So I be drinking. That's me. Well, I do be, I do be drinking, but in this case, I meant water. But yeah, so like, it's not, it's really not a challenge in this day and age to make friends, to find friends, I don't know, that sounds like I'm saying that it's really easy, and I did literally just say that, so I guess I can't take that away. But the options are out there, right? It's not like you're secluded in this day and age, because you have all these Discord servers, you have places to be that you can be in. And again, you might not vibe with all of them. You might join some of them and go, this is kind of shit. But you're going to find one. You're certainly going to find one that you can vibe with, and then just hang out there. And then you got your friends. You got your friends list, So it really is that accessible. And I guess accessible is the word I should use for making friends in the furry fandom, because everything kind of ties together. You can make friends with someone on Twitter, go to their stream, and this is like a very it's a straightforward path. You make friends with someone on Twitter, you go to their stream, then you join their Discord, and then you're friends. Or maybe you go to their stream first. Maybe you're just perusing Twitch, and it's perfectly okay to just be just go on Twitch and browse the furry tag and go like, oh, that's a cute Sona, let's go say hi to them. That's the thing about the furry fandom, right? You can just say, wow, that Sona looks cute, I want to talk to them, because I'm sorry to say, but just like, it's not like a deal breaker, obviously. Like, you can be friends with ugly people, fun fact, spoiler alert. But it's okay to say the same thing of like, I like that you have a Sona that is cute to me, because when I'm around you, then I can look at something cuter to me, because, I don't know, it looks nicer to see something cute that you think is cute than something that is not cute. I mean, pretty basic, right? But it is true. It's nice to look at cute things. I think we're all in the furry fandom. We all probably like looking at cute things. So there's nothing like mind-blowing, like, holy Raichu, oh my god, that's crazy. I mean, pretty basic, right? You like looking at cute things. So find someone there, chat with them, join their Discord, and you have a friend group. And then, when you have that friend group, you can plan things outside of the internet, like going to a con, or even just having like a friend's trip, right? I know many friends who have had like little just like friend group things, and oftentimes they call it, like I used to call it RaiCon, when people would come, a bunch of friends would come over to my house, but you could just call it whatever you want, or call it nothing at all, and just have have people come to your house. So yeah, that's whatever you want to do, you can do some things. So very very accessible to meet people online, and then bring them outside of the online to a con, to something else, do a hangout, to a trip, go on a trip together to freaking I don't know, Australia, just at a random place, wherever you want to go on a little vacation together, and I think you'll have a good time. And it really is very accessible to meet people, and I think that's very cool, and get to know people. It's easier than ever, and I've been around the block. Let me tell you, again, 25 years, by far, this current, like, present time is the easiest to meet people and bond with people and get close to people, because again, in all different fandoms, I have put a lot of work into meeting people, and again, it's really easy now, and I like that. I mean, again, I don't want to make it sound like when like someone like really rich, or someone who like maybe like they're famous on YouTube, and they're like, if I was not famous, this is what I would do to be famous on YouTube again. I am very, very fortunate that I have many friends, and that's really just from me being around life, being around for a long time, and meeting people that way. So I'm very fortunate for that. So it's not, I don't go actively hunting, like, let me make more friends, because I have a good amount of friends, and I already feel like I struggle at times to have enough time for the ones that I already have, right? So I'm aware of the fact that coming from me, it's like I'm giving you advice on something that I'm probably not gonna do or need to do, right? But I still think it's very applicable, and if I needed to do it, like I could do it. Like, I'm very, very confident that I could join some communities and and start talking to people, and bada bing, bada boom. It's like it's very accessible and doable in this day and age, which is, again, very awesome. And there was a time, again, when we were scrounging to meet people, right? In this day and age, everyone's out there. You have a common interest. Go watch some freaking streams together. Go chat. Go play a video game. Just do some things, dude. There's a lot of cool people out there, and there's nothing stopping you from meeting them, except fear, which is scary. Life is scary. Just try it. No one's gonna judge you. We're all freaks out here, and just as long as I think that's the key takeaway we can have as we end this episode is just be chill. Be chill. As long as you're not annoying. I mean, I don't want to be. I realize, I guess, that probably everyone listening to this is going to be like, well, it doesn't help me because I'm really annoying. But you're probably not annoying. Just be chill. That's all you got to do. Just be chill. Chat with people. Hang out. And even if you are like, you consider yourself weird or awkward or whatever, you're going to meet people who like you for that, and who like you for you. And I think, again, one of the good things is, in my community, a lot of people found their home. A lot of my dearest friends said they finally found a place where they could be themselves, where they could fit in, where they could feel like they had a home. People actually like them. And I'm really happy that people have a home here in my community. And I bet a lot of those people would have said that they were too weird, or, whatever they would say. They're too, that's probably what they would say. They're too weird, or they're just not good at making friends. They're awkward. They would probably listen. I'm pretty sure a lot of people in my community would say a shitload of bad things about themselves, probably. And hey, they're here. They have friends, and I bet they would tell you, if they could find friends, they could find a community, you can too. So I hope that you'll try, because that's the start. If you don't try, you're certainly never going to find a community or a friend group or friends. So you have to try. It's scary, very scary. But you know what? I think you can do it. So, my friends, that's about all I've got for you today. I hope that you enjoyed. I know it's a bit of a shorter episode, but I like to, rather than artificially, making something be a certain length, even if I'm done talking about the thing I want to talk about, I feel like it's more important to just be concise, and the time may fluctuate. Sometimes it might be longer, sometimes it might be shorter. Who knows? But the important part is that you're here. I appreciate you being here. Thanks for listening, as always, and I will see you next month for the next one.